There are many things about the VUE concept mapping tool that I like, that I believe we should be emulating for our visual designer interface in OLab3 3. It is rapid and responsive, similar to what Rachel created with the Flash design tool, but just much easier. You can click anywhere within a node to grab it. You don't have to hit the title bar. You can resize nodes if you want. You can pick multiple items at one time, which is particularly useful. So if you want to move a whole group or do something to a whole group, you can select them and grab them just by drawing a box around them. That's enormously useful in a big map. It is very fast and very smooth in terms of zooming in and zooming out on the map, which is very useful. It is easy to move the map around. There is no delay, there's no lag. So just the simple little things like that really make a difference. And being able to rejoin a link from one to another is also just nice and easy. Just click and drag ends, etc. Very, very simple that you can do that. While we're talking about the links, as well as being able to quickly make a link double-ended, no ends, pointing which direction, etc. And I'm doing this just with a toggle key, but you can also do it from the small control panel here. The other important thing, which I think would be very useful, is that you can label a link. So if you you can put some text there. That's simple enough. What would be really nice would be that that would be a very intuitive way of relabeling a jump link. Within OLab at the moment, you can relabel a link to something other than the title text that it's going to, but it's buried within the link editor. It's not very intuitive, whereas just labeling it here would make perfect sense. And you can also copy labels between links very simply just by copy and paste. So you could rename these to jump. Sorry, misclick that. It would also be jump, and you'd make it say jump to, something like that. So just simple things like that would make things easier. Now we talked about different things within the node text. Of course, we'd rather not have to bother with these 3 hyphens, etc. anymore. I'm assuming that would work better. And there's a feature in OLab that I within VUE that I like, and that is this little pop-up floating window as a secondary subpanel. And this is information that relates to the node. We could use that for getting into the node detail rather than trying to do too much within the individual box itself. Focus on the text, etc. here. And when you want to do more clever things, you would use, say, the top bar here just for the title. You'd have a box for, so you'd have the node label, which would be relatively small. You'd have the node body, and then if you wanted notes, you could type them in here, and that would be like notes for the programmer, which would be non-playing text in the node text. We could again emulate things like we don't need keywords, but for instance, we have talked about being able to increment counters, so we could do that just with plus and minus buttons like we have here. That's just as an example or something you could do. Or there's a few other small items you could do, and what's happening in the subpanel reflects depending on which item in the main window you has focus, including even things like the link names. So you could have that so that you can change the link name here, but you can also change it here, and you can put in the conditional rules for a link or a jump here. You can put in counters in there. So I'm suggesting that simple change there would increase the power and intuitiveness of the visual designer enormously. And I don't think it would be that difficult to do.